The evaluation has two functions. One is to develop the confidence, the self-confidence of the speaker, but also to develop their competence. One of the problems is sometimes in our society, especially in America, we put such a great emphasis on self-esteem that we neglect developing the competence of our students. And so likewise in Toastmasters, we try to keep that balance between self-confidence but also competence. We don't want people to become confidently incompetent, which often is the case. As I think some of you have seen it living here in America. We have, in the last 20 years, the educational establishment has put so much emphasis on self-esteem, making the person feel good, making the student feel good about themselves. And sometimes we neglect the competence area, and this is hopefully something that we Americans can correct in the future with maybe a little more hard discipline in our educational system. And maybe you can help us do that. So hopefully you'll agree with me on that. The other thing you'll see about evaluation is this, that it develops your coaching skills. How many of you have people that work for you? How many people would like to have people work for you? Okay, right? Because there's a lot more money in that. How many of you people have children? Okay, how many of you have boyfriends or girlfriends? Okay, now, the reason I mention this is that sometimes you have people that you need to improve. Like maybe you have people that work for you, or maybe co-workers. Maybe there are co-workers that make mistakes, or co-workers that have bad habits, and you want them to change the habit. You want them to be better. Or maybe you have a boss that you're trying to convince to maybe change something. And so when you do that, do you begin by saying, "Oh, you're lousy"? No, you always say something nice. "Hey, boss. Man, boss, I thought the way you did that the other day was so excellent, you know, it was really good, and everyone on the team was very proud of you. But you know, boss, there is one thing," right? You always start with something positive. Okay? If you're in a relationship and you want your partner to do something different in their life, or maybe improve something, you don't say, "Oh man, you are really lousy at that," because they're going to be angry at you, and then they may no longer be your boyfriend or girlfriend, right? So instead you say, "Wow, you know, dear, that's a very good way that you do that, and I think it's really wonderful, but you know, you could do this," right? And then you give the suggestion for the improvement. And so we develop that skill in the evaluation portion of Toastmasters, because we want our coworkers to be better. We want sometimes to train our bosses to do what we want, right? And sometimes if we have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, we have to train our boyfriend or girlfriend to maybe change their behavior and do things that will make everyone happy, including yourself. And someday when you have a family and you have children, you want to train your children to improve their performance. And again, the coaching skills that you develop as a speech evaluator in Toastmasters, those coaching skills will be of great benefit to you in your life. So you can see that in our Toastmasters program, it's speeches, table topics, evaluations. Each of them develop specific skills in your life. Now, our second speaker, of course, tonight was Dr. Nair. And her evaluator is somebody I think a lot of you know. She's a member, right? You're a member, occasionally a member of the Chinese Tea Time Group. She's also a proud member of our Queen's Best Toastmasters Club. Our second evaluator tonight, please welcome, is Lucia Lu. Lucia.
Good evening, Toastmasters, our fellow members, especially Setu. I really like your speech. Every time when I listen to your speech, I'm just very, very inspired. Because you not only tell us the story, you also inspire us to think about the life, think about the work, think about everything happened around us. That is really good. Firstly, I will mention about the content of your speech. You organize your speech very well. First, you ask questions that will bring the attention of all our audience. And second, you tell the story, a good story. And then you will not stop here. And then you give a conclusion. What we learned from the story, what we learned from the real life, what we learned from the nature. So you organize your speech very well. And second, you deliver your speech very good. The objective of project number 4 is use voice volume, pitch, rate, and quality to add and reflect the interest to your message. You really do that, such as fat, long, fat, long, and a bunch of shining fish. So that is make your speech, your message very interesting. So I like that part. Also, for improvement, as Mark always said, the biggest room in this world is for improvement. I like your speech, but I always want to make some suggestions. Because for the objective of the project number 4 is that use pauses to enhance your message. Please remember, sometimes you always try to speak, but silence can be golden. Sometimes you pause a while, silence, and then it will attract or bring attention of the audience. A second suggestion is you have intended to speak quickly, so sometimes slow down, and then that will make the audience to catch your meaning. So in general, I like your speech very much, and I'm looking forward to your next speech. Thank you.
One thing I like about both Sarah and Lucia, when they give their evaluations, you notice they're very composed. They stand very straight. They hold their hands in they use very elegant gestures. So these are very elegant speakers. And I think a lot of it comes maybe by their training in life, their parents. But I think a lot of it has to do with the experience they've had in Toastmasters. So I do commend them for that. And Lucia is one of our youngest members, and I think you're going to be a corporate CEO someday. I'm pretty sure. Very smart. Now, Lucia.
I just joined this Toastmaster this April, so it's very tough to evaluate the experienced Toastmasters. So thank you for the support.
I think she's just a natural talent.